Welcome back everyone to another video. Today I've got something that I'm quite surprised about. So as you guys know, this was my second 3-marked tank. My first one was the T-32, which by the way I don't plan on making a video about unless if I buy back the T-32 and play a bunch of games and showcase it for you guys. But yeah, this was the 1-3 mark that I cared about. Of course, this is I only have 2 of them, which, you know, you already know. And yeah, I decided to play this just for a little bit of fun. I was playing with Cyclops, one of the subscribers and one of the players that I met a while ago when I first started playing the game. So we're gonna be working with him this match, and we're gonna see what we're able to do. Now, I was very surprised by this, and I think some of you guys will be as well. So yeah, I've talked about this tank many times. I made a video about this tank when I was 3-marking it, showed you the battles I had, and yeah, so this tank, I feel, is still underrated. With certain scenarios, it's really good, like the one that we're about to show you here. It can do really well, and it can also just straight out suck. Like if you get tier 10s and you fight a chieftain, yeah, you're just dead. There's nothing more simple than that. You're just dead. However far away though, if you're hold down far away, like medium range and longer, your turret actually becomes very strong. And up close in quarters, it's still kind of strong. They can still hit your cupola if you're not careful. And if they use gold, if certain tanks use gold, they can actually pin your gun mantle and your cheeks as well. So that is something to be mindful of as well. We do get a lucky bounce there from the turtle. I'm not sure what he hit. I think he hit the track or something. I'm not sure. That's what he must have hit. Anyway, so now there's 2 VKs here. We're just gonna farm them. I'm gonna start a salvo, and we're gonna get a nice, lovely high roll. Actually, no, that was actually a low roll for 563. If we got 600, it would have been average roll. But you know, not a huge deal. You know, it happens. And yeah, one thing I want to point out: the standard rounds on this tank are actually pretty good. It's only like 30 millimeters, maybe 20 less than the gold. So that's why I don't have a ton of gold. But yeah, the AP rounds are actually not bad at all. They're 240, 250-ish. So yeah, not horrible at all. And that for me is what makes this tank good, especially for 100mm guns. The pen is really nice. We do get a nice straight-on pen there on the cupola of the VK101P, and bit by bit we're just gonna stay hold down and slowly farm, which is pretty much what this whole match pretty much just shows. It shows the strengths of this tank. Now the weaknesses of this tank: you can't side scrape because of the front of the way that your hull is shaped. You just can't side scrape. You can kind of reverse side scrape, but you have to be very careful. You just have to peek after the enemy shoots you and not before. Unfortunate miss there on the Barask, but you know, it's fine. Yeah, you can kind of like the 277. You can reverse side scrape in it. But you pretty much can't angle, because the second that you over angle even a little bit, you're just gonna get absolutely obliterated. So yeah, I think that just peeking very carefully and staying hold down is the best options for this tank. We are going to solve with the Sturf. We do hit him. And this time we do high roll for 621, so that is nice to see. So now that's already put us at 2.5k damage, and we really haven't done a whole lot, to be honest. The DPM too, like the DPM on this tank is pretty good for a double-barreled. It's amazing. I love it. Most double-barrels don't, yeah, I don't think any actually of the double-barrels have good DPM for their tier. The 703 especially, you know, at least base. I'm talking about base DPM here. I should have taken that shot there. It was actually green, which was my fault. I was actually trying to pen his cheeks when I should have just shot the sides of his cheeks instead on the turret. So that is probably the one mistake that I do make, is just that. But yeah, like there I should have fired, and I didn't, because I was trying to focus on his cheek and not the, but you know, it's fine. Yeah, so he's facing us head on. It doesn't pen. I am using gold now, and yeah, that's the one thing I don't like, is that the gold is Like the AP is so good, like it's almost not worth firing gold, unless if you want good shell velocity. Because I think it's 800 or 880 or something like that, and then it's I think 1,000 or 1,100 for APCR. So not horrible. Yeah, and again, when I do fire, it goes orange and it bounces. So, yeah, uh, yeah, it's fine. Um, yeah, so Cyclops was asking me if I had shots on it that T-32, and we do on the rear. And yeah, me and him had just sat hold down pretty much most of the time and just farming some damage. I personally think the T-32 is also an underrated tank. Ever since it got buffed, it's actually not bad at all. The turret especially is really nice. The mobility isn't that good, to be honest, though, on it. Kind of the same with the IS-2-II, like certain terrain and stuff. It's not very fast. I did put a turbo, in case if you're wondering, I have turbo, vents, and V-stabs in this. The reason for V-stabs is just for better everything overall, especially DPM. And then of course, I'm sorry, vents. V-stabs is for the better gun handling, because the aiming time can be a little atrocious, especially if you don't have a skilled crew like me. I do want to salvo here, but I decide not to. I decide just to go for the singles because I didn't want one of the shots to bounce. And we actually penished track there, believe it or not. The wheel right there. I'm not entirely sure where we penned there, but at first I thought it was, but I'm like, wait a minute, no, that can't be because of his track. And watch this shot, guys, by the VK. The VK just completely misses, but it's fine. I do low roll, unfortunately, for only 250. That's pretty low. And Cyclops is able to finish him, and we are able to continue to push this now. And I did make one other mistake here, the second one, and it's actually not completely clearing the K line by their base, and you guys will see that here in a minute of what I'm talking about, because it is very, very, very unfortunate. We could actually lose this game. Believe it or not, this is actually very losable because of the lack of hit points we have. I do decide to try to salvo. The Barask completely misses, and that's because I kind of was still driving at the same time, so my dispersion on the move was pretty bad. But yeah, and I don't mean to keep firing gold too. I forgot to switch back to AP, but I do eventually switch back to AP here once I turn around. So yeah, I assumed that I would be able to spot them from here, and I don't. So, you know, like from there you would think that you would spot the AMBT, but I'm about to be proven wrong here pretty quickly. So yeah, I just turned around. I thought maybe he was still up there because I was thinking maybe there's no way he's made it to the K line. There's no way that he's where he is. And it took me and Cyclops off guard, especially Cyclops when the AMBT actually kills him from there, which is relatively soon. So I'm just waiting for the AMBT to show up. I'm like, okay, he must be in North still, and Cyclops was screaming at me in BC. He's like, no, 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 he's at K1, he's at K1. And so then I'm thinking, wait a minute, there's no way. But then I realized that there is a small chance that he is there. So at first I wanted to go there just to see if Cyclops was actually like trolling me, or if he was was lying, and he wasn't. We should spot him here any second. He's right. I think he's right about. Yep, there he is. Right there in that bush. And yeah, I would never expected that. I do track him, and someone else is gonna shoot him, but I am gonna get the nice ram kill to finish it off. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like I said, it's still one of my favorite tanks to play. And yeah, I just love it overall. It's not a bad tank at all. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will catch you guys later.